I challenged AI to a drawing contest. AI image generation has come a long way since it was first released about 2 years ago, so I thought it'd be a good time to test how much I'll be able to match up. Who do you think is gonna win? Let's find out. I want to make this as authentic as possible, so I'm gonna use ChatGPT to decide what we're going to be illustrating, as well as giving a proper prompt. So I'm sure AI doesn't lose just cause I'm bad at writing prompts. This is what we came up with. In a Nigerian secondary private school classroom, students eagerly participate in a lively discussion led by their teacher. The walls are done with writings, diagrams, and formulas serving as visual aids for the lesson. Sunlight streams in through the windows, illuminating the scene. That sounds good. Let's begin. I'm starting with a few thumbnail sketches here so I can see a few different ideas on paper before I do the final art. I'm crippling myself a bit by resolving not to use reference at all for this drawing, which is something I almost never do, so this is going to be a bit difficult. I'm focusing these thumbnails majorly on deciding the best perspective to use that best tells the story, so the arrangements of the characters will change later. I'm not sure how to fit all the information in the prompt into this one square drawing, so I'm gonna try. Or, you know what, I'm not gonna try. I'll just focus more on doing my best. I'm curious to see how AI will interpret this though. So here are the 3 thumbnails I came up with. And while I don't really like this particular perspective, it's just a simple 1-point perspective, it'll be really fun to draw. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense, in my head at least. So, let's go. Getting started with a perspective grid helps simplify the process a lot. You've essentially given yourself a very simple, straightforward guide to base your entire drawing off of, so nothing gets confusing later. Or at least, not too confusing, because I'm drawing desks and chairs here without any reference. Why am I punishing myself? I'm just gonna go for a very simple design here. I'm gonna position all the characters in the scene, do what I can to be creative. Once that is done, the rest should be easy enough. The problem with having to follow a specific direction like this is the drawing process becomes a lot more work than fun. Because you can't really play around much with it. You have to try and stay true to the prompt as much as possible. Honestly, I'm not trying to do that here, I'm just gonna have fun with it. It's time to start detailing out the characters. I have to focus on the expressions, perspective, aesthetics, so on. I think the pleasure in illustration is that it's so complicated that once you eventually get to that point where you're able to create entire scenes on a page from thin air, it's just the most satisfying thing, especially if it's taken many years of practice to get to that point. I started my art journey purely drawing from reference. The switch from that to trying to become an illustrator has been a lot more difficult than I anticipated, and for many years now it's felt like there's barely been any improvement. It really sucks when every time you try to make an illustration you're proud of, all you have to do is go on Pinterest or Instagram and look at the works of other artists, and you immediately begin to question your life choices all over again. It really seems like it's one of those things where you can never really get to a point where you can say, oh, I'm good now, I'm done, I'm just gonna stay at this level. There's always room to improve. How do you persevere in a field where no matter how much you practice, no matter how much you try, it just seems there's always going to be so many artists who so effortlessly outshine you? Even though, of course, it's not effortless, any great artist should be respected because it's a testament to many years of death-defying hard work. But I usually can't really help that feeling of frustration. I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. But then AI came along and made it 100 times worse. There used to be a number of artists who served as motivation to try harder, and it was easy to keep going because it seemed like it was only a matter of time. I'm gonna catch up to these guys, but now anybody can just get on their computer, type up a prompt and create a masterpiece out of thin air, completely eradicating the need to practice or work hard or even try or even be interested. AI has only been around for about 2 years and it has already improved so much, so what's it gonna be 5 years from now? It dawns on me more and more every day that this skill I'm spending so many years to develop might be completely useless soon. I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels this way. There's this uncertainty between, should I work harder so I'll be able to compete with AI art, or should I just drop it altogether? That's a question I would never have been able to comprehend 5 years ago, but well, here we are. It's here and it's not going anywhere. Wow, this got depressing so quickly. How did I even get here? I'm so sorry. That wasn't my intention at all. The conclusion I have come to personally is that AI can take my job, and it has. I'm a freelancer, or I used to be. I barely get any jobs anymore. It's all AI. But that's fine, because the one thing AI can't take from me or any other artist is that pure joy that comes from making art. I'm gonna be doing this for the rest of my life, no matter how good AI gets. That's my choice, and nothing can stop it. I guess that's the silver lining. Wow, I somehow managed to yap myself through this entire video. I was supposed to comment more on my drawing and coloring process. Let me know if you would like to see that video. I plan to make more videos like this regardless. I guess I could talk a bit about my coloring process. Pretty straightforward. I start with flat tones, different colors on different layers in case I want to change the colors later, and I usually do. Then I create a multiply layer to identify my shadow areas. When that's done, it takes a while. Then I go back to the flat tones and add a bit more life to them. A little bit of blush here and there, maybe some glow here and there, just to make the flat tones not so flat. And I make a new layer which I set to overlay to create light and brighten up the bright sections of the art. After that, it's just a lot of tweaking and adjusting till I run out of ideas, and I finally decide to stop and move on to the next art piece, because I just have to accept that this is the best I can do for now, and hopefully the next one is always a little bit better. But for this particular job, for this particular work, for this particular art piece, after a lot of tweaking and adjusting, this was the final image I came up with. This took about 8 hours for me to finish, from start to finish, which I guess is kinda ridiculous. Now, let's see what AI does with the same prompt so we can put the results side by side. Let's try that again. We should set it to illustration so the image comes out more like a digital artwork and less like a picture. Oh, yeah, I lost already. I lost. Yeah. So let's download the best one here and set it side by side with mine. I definitely lost this round though. Wow. This isn't even a defeat, it's an annihilation. But it doesn't mean I'm a terrible artist. Well, it kinda does. But it means more that I need more practice. And I have decided to get back to that 100%. If you want to follow along my journey and maybe grow together, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. There will be many more videos in the future, and I'm so excited for it. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. You are awesome. Consider watching this next video as well. You'll love it. Trust me. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.